Hi everyone, this is Ishika Kesarwani and I welcome you all to the Tech with podcast. And today we are having Rohit Sadhu with us. He's the co-founder and COO at ENSUREDIT. We can first start with your introduction.
Sure. Hi, Shika. Pleasure to be on this podcast. A bit about me. Before kicking off InsureDit with Amit, who is my school time buddy, I used to work for Ernst& Young out of their Hong Kong practice for BFSI. I was a director within the BFSI practice, in EY from Hong Kong, looking after Hong Kong and Greater China region. And prior to that, was a director with PwC out of their New York BFSI practice, and I was with them for around I think almost 5 years. Again, working with the banking and financial services clients across Americas as well as globally. Had a chance to work with few of them. And prior to that, I had stints in the technology side, working with multiple companies as well as working on multiple initiatives, both on investment banking and trading side. So that's a bit about me in terms of what I've been doing. I did my engineering in polymer science from MIT Pune and my MBA from Symbiosis Institute of International Business Pune. That was back in 2005. So that's a bit about me, and happy to be here.
Amazing. Can you tell us a bit about ENSUREDIT and like about something about the founding members and the visions behind it?
Sure. InsureDit as a company, we are a pure play insurtech player in the market. And what we do is we provide technology solutions for digital transformation of every intermediary that is present in the market. Now, whether you are an agent, broker, corporate agent, banker, a person, a neobank, or a fintech, we work with everyone that is legally allowed to sell insurance in the market and enable digital distribution, digital onboarding, digital financing, reconciliations, and a lot of analytics that power this entire solution to our partners. From a founder's perspective and from a vision perspective, we both, as I said, both Amit and I, and Vikas is a third co-founder. So Amit and I have a long history. We are school time buddies, and we knew each other from class, I think, standard ninth. That's when we met for the first time. And then Amit, prior to InsureDit, was also CEO and of Motorola India for 5 to 6 years, and also used to work on the IoT and semiconductors division for Honeywell. Vikas is the third co-founder, and he was heading his own firm on structured and unstructured documentation. And before that, he was with Mappa India. He's an IIT Roorkee graduate of 2012-2013, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a bit about us and the three of us. And the vision was always about disrupting the insurance industry space in India. And the one thing that we do realize and recognize is it's a massive industry with huge and tremendous growth potential. I think we've just scratched the surface as an insurance industry as a whole. So the only way forward for insurance industry right now is even at current growth rates, we're going to see a massive transformation from where we are today in terms of where we are going to be by the year 2027 or the end of this decade.
Great. So like, why did you exactly gravitate towards finding the solutions for this problem, and like, what exactly was the need of it, like when you started initially?
So I think a bit of some personal experiences as well as talking to a lot of folks in the industry. What we realized is this is one area of insurance, or you can say this is one area of insurance where digital distribution kicks in, a digital initiative kicks in, and that gravitates and has a corresponding effect or impact on what happens to the rest of the value chain. So this is actually the step one of where insurance sales happen, and then that's where the customer experience also starts. So you have a great customer experience in terms of onboarding, in terms of sales journey. Then the next steps of how the policy servicing happens, claims management happens, and things of that nature. They follow this. If your initial, you can say, onboarding and initial sales journeys are not that well done, they're not attuned to where the times are. We're talking about 2022 at this point in time. So the follow-on journeys or the expectation from the clients or the follow-on journeys also are very, very we can say reduced in terms of what they expect from the insurer. The reason we kind of chose this sector is when we started, it was pre-COVID times. We realized that hey, this industry is ripe for disruption from a technology perspective. There are players in the market who have shown a broader industry that with the use of technology, players like Policy Bazaars and rest of the ecosystem, that hey, with the use of technology, you can see a tremendous growth in your business volumes, and also your customer servicing, your customer attachment, and your CAC is also kind of on the lower side with digital distribution. So that was one of the key areas for us to say kind of start focusing on. Okay, with all these partners, there are so many of these brokers, corporate agents, so many partners out there. We can work with them, enable them for a digital distribution journey, and as we kind of progress as a firm, we will keep enabling them with different and a varied set of products that will kind of not just increase their sales, but also increase penetration per se, and also help in kind of reducing their overall expenses and costs.
Can you tell us a bit about all these services that are being provided by your company?
Sure. So I think, in a nutshell, if I have to say, it is kind of a CRM for the insurance distributors. So right from your digital onboarding of all your sales team, now whether you are a point of sale person or your internal broker qualified personnel, whosoever you are, who's legally allowed to sell insurance, their entire onboarding can happen digitally in the system. So there's no need for them to kind of do any pen and paper work or things of that nature. That's all done on the platform. It allows them to kind of do end-to-end sales journey in a digital fashion. There is no need for, again, as I said, no pen and paper involved in this entire chain. Once they do the sales servicing also happens through the platform. Whether it's raising a claim, an endorsement, or you want a service request to be done, everything is done through the platform. For them to kind of manage their own finances, say, what is the IRDA commission that is due to them? That's all kind of reflected to them as and when they kind of sell policies through the platform, if it is applicable in their case. Then the one thing that we proud ourselves is in terms of managing the entire reporting function, also for brokers. Also at the same time enabling those nuances in terms of looking at their data set and telling them exactly, hey, how they can sell better and how they can target better in specific areas or specific focus areas that are out there in the market. So that's something that we do from what we call as our. I will not say it's more on the analytics side that we kind of enable our distributors and our partners with. So the goal at the end of the day is to kind of not just increase their sales, increase penetration, and also and I think the most important thing is that they're setting the right policy to the right customers, that there is no mis-selling or there is no ill-informed selling that is happening to the platform. So this is what overall the platform kind of provides our distributors.
Okay, great. So you were talking about some of your competitions, right? So what exactly makes your company unique from them?
A couple of things I will say. One is our belief in terms of being only a tech-only player. We do not intend, or we do not have any. We do not intend to be a licensed player in the market at all. So we do not want to compete with our partners. So that's the biggest differentiator between us and a lot of the competitors that are out there in the market, who basically carry both a license to sell insurance, and they're also selling the technology to competitors in a way. That's something that we just do not intend to do. We want to kind of work with our partners in kind of co-creating products as we kind of move forward. And one of the key things, and I think in a way a validation of our business model, has been the recent round of funding that we have received, with one of the leading global insurtech players, Cover Genius, kind of investing in our vision in terms of what we perceive this market is going to go towards. And in addition to that, I would think one of the key things that differentiates us from players in the market is commitment to our clients. And in that perspective, it's just not about building the best technology product, but to kind of create unique relationships with them, and also kind of work with them in terms of seeing, hey, how we can kind of do better in terms of what we provide to them at this point in time, and the better product sets that can be created. based on their customer bases and their ecosystems.
So in this, who all are exactly your customers?
Our customers will be your traditional brokerage firms, corporate agencies, which also include your banking channels, your NBFCs, your IMFs, insurance marketing firms. Then we also have players who also hold licenses, but are more like new age product channels. You have players who are in the fintech segment, who are in the new banking segment. So, and as I said, anyone legally allowed to sell insurance is a customer for us, and they work very, very closely with us. And then I will say, in an indirect fashion, the actual person who uses our product is the customer, or is the sales guy, or is the point of sale person who has onboarded onto these brokerages, corporate agencies, or bank assurance channels. So they are indirectly, I will say, our primary customer base, because they end up using the product. They end up using the product in terms of generating sales, and actually kind of advising their clients in terms of what to buy and what not to buy.
Great. So how exactly is the technology helping you out in your business?
I'll say, if I have to kind of say I'm doing this thing without, for us, it is the technology is the bread and butter, because we are a pure play tech player. Uh, and for our partners, without technology, it is your operational costs are just going to be humongous, that there's no point that you will grow. There is absolutely no way that you will keep growing in the market. It's just that the incremental cost is so high to get additional sale, if you are not technically enabled or technology or enabled distributor, that it just doesn't make any sense to be in the business anymore. So if you want to kind of increase your sales, increase your footprint, increase your customer reach, the only way, I will say, it's not the best way, it's the only way right now, it is that you have to be technically enabled. You need to have your own product sets in the market. Now, whether it's an app, whether it's a web app, or whether you're using API as a service, this is how you kind of increase your penetration and also increase your footprint. You can't do it on a pen and paper basis. You can't have an army of people kind of doing it for you.
Yeah, totally agreed. So what's your marketing strategy to expand your business and what's your future plannings?
So from a marketing perspective, we are more of a B2B firm. So we usually, you will say, hey, we are not that big on B2C marketing, because that's not an area that we kind of work in. So our marketing is, we can say, marketing effort is more or less focused on the B2B segment, working with our partners, working with, you can say, forums that we may kind of end up sponsoring a few forums, working with the associations that are out there in the market that are closely related to insurance companies. So that will be our primary marketing spend. But I won't say that we have a massive marketing budget, or there's no need for us to have a massive marketing budget or an initiative, because of the nature of the business we are in. It's purely B2B sales. From our future standpoint, with the recent infusion in the company, we will keep expanding our engineering organization. Our team is more or less, I will say, 80-85% engineers, and our focus will still be on increasing our engineering capabilities, introduce more product segments, stabilize our product even better, make it even better than where it is right now. And as I said, start working with our partners in terms of new product categories that can be introduced. Work with them in terms of, hey, if something can be kind of brought into IRDS sandbox from a technology and a distribution perspective. So we are working on a few ideas on that side, which fairly soon we should be kind of able to kind of do POCs with them, and hopefully also kind of put them into IRDS sandbox.
Great. So what advice will you give to a person who is starting with their own startup in this domain specifically?
I would say insurance as an industry, if you're starting in this domain, as I said at the very beginning, it's just getting started. We've just scratched the surface here. Opportunities are tremendous. The learning curve is very steep. Even me, Amit, or Vikas, I was slightly kind of slightly more tuned towards insurance, considering my background in BFSI. but our backgrounds were not purely from insurance industry. But yes, massive learning curves, and the product innovation that has started to happen now is just, it will just keep going on in that direction. The future of insurance is completely different in terms of the way we look at it right now. It's going to be completely different in next 3 to 4 years time, with introduction of newer products, more tech-enabled products, and I kind of give it up to millennials, because I know that they will be the first ones to latch on to what is coming out and what's going to come out in the insurance industry in the next 3 to 4 years, because that will be more tuned towards their needs rather than insurers or product companies kind of defining these are the products, go ahead and buy them. But it will be more customized, more variable based, be more personalized for folks going forward. So people who want to join the industry, they want to kick off their own venture on insurance space, I would say more the better. There's a lot to do in terms of insurance sector per se in India, and I think this will be a great area for them to kind of come in. If they are more technology oriented folks, it's even better, because that's the need of the hour. That we need more tech intervention in this space, and as I said, sky's the limit on this one in terms of what you can think and what you can kind of bring to the table.
Amazing. So, I guess with that, we can wrap up today's session. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us and sharing your journey. And thank you to all the listeners who joined us. And stay tuned because we are going to come up with many more videos like this. Have a good
Thanks a
day.
lot for your time. Thank you.